Hello. Purim is almost upon us. That's when we Jews remember and celebrate our narrow escape from annihilation at the hands of the evil Haman in ancient Persia. We hear the Megillah being read. We shake our groggles and stomp our feet when we hear the name of Haman. We watch a Purim spiel. We exchange mishloach manot. We wear colorful costumes. And we eat a seudah, a festive meal that includes delicious hamantash and pastries, usually with prune, apricot, or poppy seed filling. My favorite filling is bitter orange marmalade, but that's just me. There is another tradition on Purim, and that is to drink so much alcohol that you no longer know the difference between blessed be Mordechai and cursed be Haman. In Hebrew, until you no longer know is ad lo yada. Every year on Purim, Israel has a funny parade in the streets called Ad Lo Yada, with a carnival atmosphere befitting drunkenness. Does the Jewish tradition really enjoin us to get drunk on that day? Is it really a commandment, given that Judaism generally frowns on drinking too much? Let's explore the matter in detail. The injunction is found in the Talmud, Tractate Megillah. This is what it actually says. Quote, Rava said, a man must get so drunk on Purim that he no longer knows the difference between cursed be Haman and blessed be Mordechai. The rest of the passage is quite surprising. Quote, Rabbah and Rabbi Zerah got together for the Purim feasts. They got drunk, and Rabbah slaughtered Rabbi Zerah. The next day, Rabbah prayed and revived Rabbi Zerah. The next year, Rabbah invited Rabbi Zerah again for the Purim feast, but Rabbi Zerah replied, no thanks. A miracle may not happen every time. Unquote. So, is getting drunk a commandment, or is the murder story that comes right after it meant to cancel it and warn us against the dangers of drunkenness? Let's hear what our commentators said on the matter. It is clear that most of them are uncomfortable with the literal interpretation of the Talmudic injunction and try to soften it. Some report the injunction to get drunk without elaboration. Examples are the Rif from 11th century Morocco, the Rosh from 13th century Germany, Tur, and even Yosef Karo from 17th century Israel in his authoritative Shulchan Aruch, or Code of Jewish Law. Yet interestingly, the same Karo, in his Bet Yosef commentary, rejects the literal interpretation and concludes that one should merely drink a tad more than usual. Some simply ignore the injunction. Works from the Gaonic periods, from 500 to 1000 CE, do not mention this passage at all, perhaps implying that it may be disregarded. Some believe the murder story was meant to cancel the injunction to get drunk, considering that the story comes right after the injunction. Among them are Rabbeinu Ephraim of Kala Hamad, a student of the Rifs, Abraham ben Yitzhak of Narbonne from 12th century Provence, and the Bach from 17th century Central Europe. Others, such as the Tosafot and the Meiri, say the injunction refers to a popular song with a lot of verses such as Blessed be Mordechai, Cursed be Haman, Cursed be Zeresh, Haman's wife, Blessed be Esther, Cursed be all the evildoers, Blessed be all the Jews, etc. They conclude that because there are so many verses, it does not require much thinking to begin to get the verses wrong. Why get drunk on wine in particular? Some say that is because the miracle of Purim was achieved with wine. Drunkenness allowed King Ahasuerus to be swayed by Queen Esther. Maimonides from 12th century Egypt says, quote, how does one fulfill the obligation of the Purim feasts? One eats meat and prepares a beautiful meal as best he can afford, and drinks wine until he becomes drunk and falls asleep. Unquote. The Rema from 16th century Poland interprets that to mean that there is no need to become very drunk. One simply drinks just beyond what he is accustomed to and falls asleep. Asleep, he can obviously no longer distinguish between Cursed be Haman and Blessed be Mordechai. Rabbi Yehiel Epstein from 19th century Russia agrees in his authoritative Aruch HaShulchan. More generally, Maimonides warns, quote, when one eats, drinks, and rejoices on a festival, he should not drink too much wine or engage in levity or lightheartedness and say he's doing this to obey the commandment to rejoice. Drunkenness, excessive laughter, and lightheadedness are not rejoicing, but rather debauchery and foolishness. Unquote. Others say that one must not drink if it will interfere with the proper performance of commandments, which takes priority. Quote, if one believes that drinking on Purim will interfere with his performing any mitzvah, such as reciting the Birkat Hamazon, Mincha, or Ma'ariv, or that he will behave in a boorish manner, it is preferable that he not drink at all, so as not to become inebriated. Unquote. Still others say that until really means up to that point. It is merely an upper limit on drinking. You may therefore not drink at all, or drink only up to that point, but no further. Some say it means drinking until one can no longer add up the gematria of Arur Haman and Baruch Mordechai in his head. They are both equal to 502, by the way. For many math-challenged people, this may mean not drinking at all. Some even say that the injunction is just a Purim joke, as befits the holiday. It reads like a Purim spiel, a rabbi cutting the throat of a friend and colleague whom he invited to dinner, a miracle restoring him to life, a disingenuous invitation for the next year as if nothing had happened. All this is surely a joke. Some say only those who enjoy getting drunk and are used to it must follow the injunction, but not those who know drinking will hurt them. Some even get personal and say that Rava, the rabbi who issued the injunction to get drunk, may have required getting drunk because it helped his business. Indeed, the Talmud informs us that he was a vintner, that he traded in wine, and that he liked to drink wine even on Pesach Eve. Others say it means until you can't decide which is the greater miracle, the defeat of Haman or the victory of Mordechai. Others say you must get drunk just enough to no longer be able to thank God for the salvation of Purim. Some borrow a saying from the Talmud, you may do much or you may do little. It is all one, provided you direct your heart to heaven. Unquote. They say it implies that he who drinks a lot and he who drinks a little are equal, as long as they direct their hearts to heaven. At any rate, all commentators agree that no one should ever drink beyond the level permitted by health and proper behavior. Chag Sameach and L'chaim.